Okay, so now I'm going to go to Google Forms. And
Just want to say, what you're going to see up here is also on our site, in the Docs page. So if there's something that's sort of click here, then press that, but it's on a slide, you don't have to trip out because it's still there.
right. So everything we're going to do is also visually, you can jump into that tab and go back. Okay? But first we're going to have some fun with this. Because remember, I start with fun. That way your effective filter goes down. Kids love to give feedback. This is a smaller screen than I normally work with. Please note, if I made any mistakes in this test, perhaps this picture of a giraffe will convince you otherwise.
I like the giraffe.
And the teacher says, indeed, +1. So do kids like to give feedback? Yes, here's another good one. Somebody spent a lot of time on this math paper. This is confusing! That would be from 300.
That's well done.
Yeah, and somebody really invested some time in that. It's very well done. I suspect he's drawn that in more than one class.
Yeah.
And technology has given us this so that kids can give feedback, the Scantron. And here's what I would tell you the problem with the Scantron is, we never break down the data.
No, we don't.
We just look at raw scores, 72 out of 80, U or B. We don't break it down. We don't have the time. Google Forms does this for you. Are you guys aware of that? Google Forms makes the charts for you. One button. If nothing else gets you excited about this segment, that should do it. Okay, and the results are in. That kid got a 0 out of 100. This is true. I used to take my 6th graders. When we would do a Scantron, I would give them 100 answers. Number 1 is A, number 2 is B, number 3 is... I would give them the answers. On average, they would miss 5. They weren't even filling in the answers right. I was giving them the answers. And then on number 98, 99, and 100, I would tell them, mark A. Ooh, sorry, erase those. Oh, did you color too hard? You're going to lose. And then when I'd run them through the Scantron, I'd say, erase it. It's really going to be C. And they tried to erase it, they couldn't. I said, you guys, you got to learn the physiology of filling out Scantrons. So bottom line is we have a lot of data coming in and not enough time to manage it all. So here's some samples of things I do with Google Forms. Obviously assessments, makes a lot of sense. Collection of assignments. My media kids, think about this. If you were my media class right now, do I have enough time to push the flash drive out so that everybody can turn their video in on time? How do I manage that? So I have a turn-in link. So what the kids do is they upload their video to whatever website is, and then they just turn in the URL. I can watch at my leisure, and I can also go back through my whole year. Now if I can say, I need Stephanie's video, guess what I do? I open up a spreadsheet and I sort by Stephanie, and there it is. So I never have to do this. Stephanie, where's that video you made? I can always find Stephanie's videos. So that's a collecting of assignments. So that could be either a Google Doc or something they upload, something from YouTube. I do reading assignments in my English classes. We already kind of discussed that. School-wide and class surveys. At my high school that we built, we do quarterly surveys. We survey the students quarterly because we want to change the way the class works in midstream. If you give them the survey the last day of class, you're missing the window. But that's how most colleges do. We typically have the first survey about 4 weeks in. How are we doing? Enough help? Not enough help? Google Forms makes that a 3-minute thing. It's not a big deal. And one thing we forgot to talk about in Diane's segment is there are things called templates. So when you make anything, you can save as template. And then that template is in your domain. So what used to happen was my principal would say, it's time to make your surveys, and everybody would go, oh, what are these surveys? And then be all different. One person would be 1 through 10, and one would be 10 through 1. So now we made one, and they just open the template and put their name on it and move on. So those are cool things too. Yes?
A couple of quick ones. At the beginning of the school year, I survey my students to find out what their access to resources is, or what they use. And then also with my grad students, I do a little survey for prior knowledge on certain specific things we're going to touch on. I meet with them 5 times online. I need to know what they know before we get together so that I don't say a bunch of stuff they already do or leave out stuff that they need to know. So I use the survey forms to do that kind of thing too.
And we know that it's a good practice to give kids a reading survey the first couple of days. What do you like to read? What's the last book you read? What kind of music do you like? What's the last movie you watched? Right, we know that. With this tool, it makes it so much easier to collect the data. So I'm like, do you remember the Woody Allen movie Zelig? Where he would stand by people and start looking like them? You remember that? That's my mission in life, is to, when my class comes in, I adopt a different musical style based on who's sitting in my room. I make different jokes depending on who's sitting in my room. Because they think we're buddies. And I'm just using that to get the conversation started. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example. We'll start our build in a few minutes. There are amazingly few buttons in this. It's actually a pretty simple process. I can predict it's going to be noisy and messy, but we're going to make it. Okay. So in my reading quiz example, I have this. I have a little title. The kids have a little survey question to fill out there. I get instant feedback. When you're done with a Google survey, you hit summary, and it makes all the charts in one stop. How many of you guys have done a lot of Excel spreadsheets, but not a lot of charting? Why? It's 20 clicks to make a chart.
This takes forever.
You can ask 100 questions, and Google will automatically do that for you. And the purpose of gathering the information is to look at the chart. That's the purpose. We gather the data to see the chart. So that's really amazing. And all you have to do is hit summary. Bam, here it comes. There's a caveat to that, though, because we learned this when we started doing this. You have to ask numeric data. If you ask people their opinion, you can't get a chart of that. So the model that we've fallen into, if you want a good little pedagogy, is, how do you like my class so far, 1 through 10? Do you have any comments? How do you like our homework so far, 1 through 10? Do you have any comments? So now if I see an anomaly from the data side, I can track down the comments. And it's really easy, but it took us 20 reps to get to that. This is a class project, so kids go to a link, they pick from a pull-down menu, what period, which class. They can do a short answer. School surveys, already kind of covered that. Immediate feedback, and what it'll show you is a bar chart.
Or sometimes a pie chart.
Or a pie chart, but in this example, it's bar chart. And then it'll also show you the distribution of the raw scores. Okay? And this one is, please rate how fast and how helpful the feedback is that you get from your teachers. That was a school-wide survey. Our principal could do a school-wide survey every day, because once he has a template, he just needs people to take the survey. He hits summary, bam. Now that would be crazy because kids get surveyed out, but that's how easy it is.
And me too.
Yeah. All right, so I want you guys to go into your Google Docs account, and I don't care if it's Cal State Teach or whichever one. Go to Documents and create a form, and we're going to go step by step. Now I know from the variety of folks in here, I'm going to lose a couple of you. That's why Kevin and Himanshu are here. I'll try not to go too fast. You've also got to let the mastery part go. This is available online at the website, so you can retrain yourself whenever you want. You will not have mastery today.
You do not get charged by the question that you put in. Like, if you want to have 3 sample questions and then you throw that form away, go for it. They're all free.
Don't make this form.
This is Sandbox.
Yeah, this is Sandbox. Make a 2 or 3 question form. We're not making 500 questions.
You need to